You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy. The following podcast contains spoilers and rude words. We watch a thing. We watch a thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Watched a Thing with Billy and Dave, where it is summer season, mate. There are movies ahoy. There's so many movies to watch. It's crazy.
It's insane. This past week, this coming week, and I think from memory, the one after that, I've been at the cinema the last 3 nights in a row, which is fine. I'm not complaining.
Well, we've got so much to talk about. We'll do Twisters. Then you saw Kinds of Kindness. I saw Fly Me to the Moon. So let's why don't we kick it off with Twisters, which we both saw, which is a 2024 American disaster film, supposedly directed by Lee Isaac Chung with a screenplay by Mark L. Smith, story by Joseph Kosinski. It's a standalone sequel, which really it's a spiritual sequel.
Don't you love the IMDb using things like based on characters created by? There's not a single fucking character in this from the original.
All. This is a sequel.
It has nothing to do with this film.
This is a sequel pretty much in name only. Yeah. Standalone sequel to the 1996 film Twister, and it stars Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell, Anthony Ramos, Brendan Perea, Maura Tierney, and Sasha Lane. And what is it about, mate?
Crawdads has to team up with Glenn Powell's junk to try and blow up some tornadoes.
Pretty much.
Taking a leaf from Trump's book and gone, maybe if we shoot some missiles at it.
Yep, let's throw in as many American flags as we can.
Yeah.
Let's be careful with our discussion though, Dave. We don't want to get cancelled like poor Jack Black did.
What happened to Jack Black?
Oh, did you not hear?
No.
So they're touring Australia at the moment. Tenacious D.
If I'd known about it early enough, I would have got tickets.
Yeah, right. Well, if you had not already seen them, you won't see them because the rest of the tour is cancelled. Their show on Saturday night, Kyle Gass made an off-the-cuff joke about Trump's, assassination attempt.
Getting pinged in the ear by a BB gun.
Yeah, and so they've now been cancelled. They've cancelled the rest of their tour. Yeah. Jack Black issued an apology and said that on reflection, he can't work with Kyle anymore.
What?
And, yeah. So
this is insane. I won't derail the episode, but I'm going to be reading up on that shit.
Yeah, so let's be careful with our political talk. But let's get into it. Now, I want to be quite upfront and say I have no deep love for the original Twisters. It's a fine... Noosk is obsessed. She loves it.
Twister?
She loves Twister. Her and sometimes co-host of the show, Beth, who hasn't been on the show in, years now, they are massive Twister fans. They always try to make me watch it, and I say, look, I just don't care for it.
Because it was in the same sort of flurry of, I'm going to say B grade, because I don't think any of them were any good, but you had Dante's Peak.
You leave Dante's Peak alone. Dante's Peak is a stone-cold classic. Come on, man. The grandma drags the fucking boat through a river of lava. It's amazing.
I don't know. Dante's Peak, Joe versus the volcano. They're all about mountains. But there was a big... the 90s was kind of, even through to the early 2000s, was kind of disaster porn era. Yeah. You had your Emmerichs 100%. And you had your Rennie Harlins and et cetera. A few of which, like, what was the Day After Tomorrow or whatever?
Yep.
That was all right. Some of them were all right. 2012, mine. Yeah. But I don't think... it boggles my mind that anyone thinks any of them are... anything more than popcorn.
I mean, here's my biggest problem with Twister, and I guess we'll get
Helen
into
Hunt
it. But
Bill Paxton, isn't
it is. Yeah, and very much my issue with this film. These are not disaster films. It's very hard for me to have any sympathy for these characters because they are going into this situation.
Oh, this could be called Darwin Awards, the movie.
It's just anyway. So let's get into it. So I just wanted to preface with I had no deep love for Twister. I didn't have super high expectations.
I don't even recall if I've seen Twister, to be honest.
Were you excited for this one? Were you keen on it? Okay.
I wasn't dreading it. It was a thing that I was going to watch so we could talk about it. I liked the people in it. So,
same. Yeah, for the most part.
Crawdads is way better for me than Helen Hunt, so it was already a step up.
Same. I like her a lot. Yeah.
And I was looking forward to seeing whether Glenn Powell could affect, monstrous weather patterns purely through sheer masculinity and good looks.
Well, let's get straight into it then. Let's. I don't even know where to start with this.
Look, it was fine.
Well, okay, let's start there. I don't think it was. I know that I have been.
I mean, it's not good.
I know that I've been. I know that I've been Mr. Negative the last couple of weeks, which is so unlike me. I'm the guy who loves movies, but I really, really disliked this. I thought this was a bad movie. I thought it had very few redeeming qualities.
I think it's a stupid movie. See, but I enjoyed the people in it. You know, it's people I like who were generally being likable.
I'm going to go out there and say something. I actively dislike Glenn Powell, I think. I genuinely...
You wash your mouth out.
He
might be related to me. We don't know.
He comes off to me as the smarmiest man alive. And sometimes it's the characters he plays. But it's gotten to the point with him where I see... He just has a very punchable face to me. Glenn Powell... people talk about Affleck's shit-eating grin. The first time you see Glenn Powell in this fucking movie and he's sitting there with his stupid fucking cowboy hat and his stupid fucking smirk... I hate this guy. I hate him so much.
He's a smarmy. Well, we find out he's not actually that smarmy. It's a lot of it's an act.
And yet he still seems smarmy by the end of the film. I hate this guy. I hate him. Oh man, I just dislike him. And I mean, like you said, for me, it could be Darwin Awards the movie. I didn't feel tense at one point in this film. The one thing you can hope for,
stupid people who deserve to die.
Well, exactly. The one thing you can hope for from a disaster movie is to at least feel some tension and to worry about the characters. I didn't at all in this.
I wasn't worried because the laws of physics do not apply in this film. Nothing in this is almost as ridiculous as the Monarch Godzilla Kong movies.
Yeah.
There is no logic. There is no, and that's. I mean, I haven't read the Crichton book, and I to be honest, I don't even think I've seen the original. But I'm sure Michael Crichton, because he's an intelligent guy, did not have in his original book any of the bullshit pseudoscience crap that was in this.
Yeah.
The two things that made me just laugh out loud. I mean, you've got these tornadoes that literally lift up, tear down brick buildings, and
but
he's
the people
got a car
are fine.
With 2 corkscrews on it.
I know.
That he can drill into the ground, and that makes it okay.
Even the opening scene, which is like your cliffhanger moment, the moment that turns Daisy Edgar Jones into a recluse because she gets her friends killed.
Where we kill off Sabrina and old mate from
the only 2 characters in the film that don't have plot armor, because they are literally only there to drive the plot forward by dying. But that opening scene,
you've already forgotten about token Indian guy who was an actor I didn't recognize, who got the first one to get sucked up into the tornado.
Don't remember.
before he's the one, because you've got Bad Sisters Irish guy.
Yeah.
Who's the boyfriend? You've got Sabrina Kiernan Shipka, who that was a nice surprise. I didn't know she was going to be in it. And then you've got
there's a third
old
guy.
mate Indian fella who's the boffin. He's the first one sucked up before then Sabrina, then
it's so stupid though. Like they see the underpass and they decide to run for it. Their car already gets lifted up in the air, and yet they're still able to run for this underpass. Like,
well, they're running, so that makes them heavier than a car.
Oh, it's fucking stupid, man. It's so dumb.
But this is a film where the entire grand plan, the genius science that Crawdads has come up with is to throw
diaper insides
4.5 tons of basically that whatever sphagnum moss, whatever shit's in disposable napkins, up into the tornado to apparently absorb all the moisture.
Yeah,
and they say it absorbs something like 1,500 times its own weight.
Yeah,
so it ends up being, and I don't remember the number. It's something like 450 tons.
Yeah.
Where is that shit?
That's going to be great for the environment,
that would be raining down like fucking death hail. 450 tons of hard. I mean, you've got kids. You know what a full nappy feels like.
Oh yeah.
It feels like heavy. 2-3 kilos.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
1 million of those up in the sky. Then dropping. Where is it all? It's gone. Poof.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the science doesn't make sense, but it doesn't need to make sense because this isn't a movie about science. This isn't
it does present itself that way.
Like Twisted,
it takes itself far too seriously.
Well, and yet, this could very easily be a movie, for example, about climate change. But it's not, because its target audience is so clearly and very heavily middle America. The amount of American flags, the amount of country songs we get in this film that are god fucking awful. The movie has nothing to say. It's got a target audience, and it just goes for that, and that's fine. I'm sure this movie's going to make money. Like it's going to make money.
I feel bad for the Oklahoma Tourism Board.
Oh.
This movie screams, don't fucking go to Oklahoma.
Yeah, how many fucking tornadoes does this place have? It's ridiculous. Like, I get, they make the point that it's the worst tornado season ever and it's Tornado Alley. There's literally like 3 every 10 minutes in this film.
Which begs the question, why are they so surprised when they're at the rodeo thing?
Yes, and a tornado hits.
She's apparently the fucking tornado whisperer.
Yeah.
Who can blow a dandelion in the air and tell you that we predict a tornado, which was hilarious.
And the whole we need to help these people.
Like all the neighbouring towns have already been wiped off the map over the last week.
Know.
Sure,
yes.
If I was living there, I would have already gone interstate.
Yeah,
and to visit relatives.
It's ridiculous.
Or something.
And we need to help these people. Yeah, let's help these 4 random people that happen to be in this hotel lobby. What about the rest of the fucking town? What are you doing? Like it's useless.
Initially, you've got the science guys who've got the 3 military radar things, and they're going to do a 3D modeling of a tornado, which I thought that's kind of cool. Apart from the 2 guys at the back, fine. The guy that has to go in front of the path of the tornado and set up this thing.
And of course,
dumb.
They put it down, they drive away, and it instantly gets picked up.
Off the ground immediately.
What the fuck did you think would happen?
They should have borrowed the corkscrews from Glenn Powell.
But also, the tornado is constantly moving. Wouldn't it have made more sense to keep it on the back of the van and drive in front of the...
Oh yeah, there's no way that they would be in place long enough to move. But these things would cost millions of dollars. They're the ultimate cutting edge military NASA technology. Yes. One of them gets whipped off and hurled away, and what's his name, Harvey said we need to go and pick it up, and then Daisy's there going, no, we need to go and help these people. We must go and help these people.
I know.
Not let's go and get the multi-million-dollar thing, which is probably only 5 minutes away first. No, we must go and help these people. They go there, and then they just stand next to their truck going, get inside. Get inside. What value are they fucking adding?
Oh, man.
These people live in Tornado Valley. Surely they all have bunkers and shit.
Yeah, you'd think so.
I mean, apparently not, because they all have to go and hide in a movie theater that gets ripped off the ground immediately.
That's the thing. They go to help this town. And they're like, okay, quick, everyone in the movie theater. All right, now we've corralled all these people into this fucking death trap. Good helping.
We've all seen Wizard of Oz. If you live in a place that has tornadoes, everyone has a fucking underground bunker thing.
Man, honestly, Daisy Edgar Jones is the only thing I liked about this film. She's the only thing I liked about this film.
I mean, I always like her. So she was a positive for this film.
Yeah.
But this is probably the least impressive I think she's ever been. I mean, she looks stunning, but she's the least impressive she's been.
Yeah, she's not doing
Whereas
anything.
Moritini, I think, the minute you have...
Moritini
outshone.
No, man. She
was great.
This is... Okay, yeah, look, she's fine. I have an issue with the character. This is my other big problem with this film, right? This poor fucking bitch clearly has PTSD. She witnessed several of her friends die because of her... Yep. And no one gives a shit. They are all awful to her. Fucking Anthony Ramos is like, come back here. Let's go chase some tornadoes together. Just forget that. I'll get mad at you because you had a fucking PTSD
breakdown. Of my best mates because of you.
Yeah.
They were literally torn from her arms. Yeah. You were outside harm's way back in the truck with a computer.
Day one, he drags her out, to the front of the tornado. She no wonder has a panic attack, and then he gets mad at her. Moritini's a complete bitch to her. She comes back to town and Moritini's like, you should continue your work. You're meant to be out there, you should be back chasing.
I think she she was trying to encourage her to do what she. As it turned out, everyone knew she wanted to be doing it. She was just a bit gun shy because she'd had it. She'd fallen off the bike. Well, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back on that.
There are nicer ways to do it, though. That I don't know, man. I found so little to like about this film.
We had we had Superman in there as Harvey's.
You know what's really funny is I kept saying to this, that guy looks really familiar, and she was like, yeah, he looks like a young Henry Cavill but less attractive.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah, I had no idea. So that guy's the new Superman, is he?
Yeah, and he's the male. I mean, it's the Mia Goth show. There's not really a lead, but he's the supporting male in Pearl as well. Which is where I recognized him, and then it wasn't until I saw his name written down I went, "Oh, that weird named guy's the guy who's Superman."
David Corenswet.
Corenswet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look, he was fine. I mean, most of the cast just have absolutely nothing to do. I could do without fucking Glenn Powell's entire crew.
Except for we had Sacha Lane. I like.
Which one is she? Is she the one with like? The really hideous
kind of dreads and with the weird. She's the one. She was.
She looked like she would smell
the
bad.
American remake of Utopia. I know it wasn't as good as the British version.
No.
But she was Jessica Hyde, the kind of.
No, I hated her.
Woman they were chasing in that.
She looked like she would smell bad. At one point, they were like, "Do you reckon you can get the drone to do this?" And she was like, "Yeah, I reckon I can." I'm like, "Really? Because you can't fucking brush your teeth, lady." She just looked awful. I hated the entire. Honestly, it was just they were so redneck. I just hated it.
You know what that reminded me of? The ludicrous mercenary crew in Beekeeper. They were all elevated and over the top. It was like, we need a counterpoint to the uniformed science guys.
Yeah.
How ragtag can we make this fucking bunch? We need a lesbian. We need someone with dreads.
Yeah.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, honestly.
We had a cool little cameo from Paul Scheer at the end as like a traffic cop at the airport, which was fun.
Yeah, why not give us a cameo from Helen Hunt, though?
Because Helen Hunt's awful.
I mean, she is. Look, I dislike Helen Hunt, but I like Helen Hunt better than I liked this movie. So at least if you gave me something to tie it back to the original, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's something at least. This is just a cash grab by name.
IMDb, it says based on characters created by him.
Yeah, definitely.
You know the character that was created by Michael Crichton? The Tornado.
Honestly, yeah, I'm a 3 out of 10, and I feel like that's generous. I gotta be honest. I really disliked this.
I'm gonna. I mean, it's laugh out loud, but dumb. But I enjoyed laughing out loud at it, so I'm gonna say 5.5. It's a pass.
Oh, all right. Why don't you then give us a bit of a spoiler-free go through of Kinds of Kindness, which is a 2024 absurdist black comedy anthology film directed by Yorgos Lanthimos from a screenplay he co-wrote with, wish me luck, Efthimis Philippou. It stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Willem Dafoe, Margaret Qualley, Hong Chow, Joe Alwyn, and Hunter Schafer. I'm super keen for this, but just didn't have time. But tell us about it, Dave.
It's an anthology film with in 3 parts.
Okay, that I knew.
with the same cast in each, who are all very good actors. Doing
it's the same.
Work.
It's the same cast in all 3 of the stories, right?
Yep. It's So Dafoe, Hong Chow, Plemons, Margaret Qualley, Emily. They're the main ones, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're different roles. They do not. The 3 stories do not relate to one another.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not even really thematically. This is. I think you will really like this film.
Well,
I don't think many people will.
Yeah,
this is old school. This is not kind of the favorite Poor Things, fairly accessible. This is fucking Dogtooth, Lobster, Yorgos.
Yep.
So it's a hard one to recommend to anyone unless you know that they like those earlier Yorgos Lanthimos films, because I think if you like those, you'll love this. but if I didn't know that someone had seen those, I would find it very hard to recommend this film, because I think a lot of people will just walk out of this going, "That was fucked. I hated it."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All the reviews I've seen have not been positive.
Quite long. The first of the 3 stories, I didn't time it, but it felt like it was at least an hour long. I haven't.
Oh, really?
What is the runtime? It felt quite long, but I think it's because the first of the 3 stories actually goes quite long. 2 hours 44. All right, so that probably is about right. So yeah, long film. Very weird.
Yeah.
There is so much shit.
All 3 of the stories are weird?
All 3 of them have elements to them where I usually with weird films, I can kind of get a handle on what the filmmakers. There's a lot of this film where I have no idea why he wrote it the way he wrote it, why certain things are in there. I was just kind of, but I'm fine with that, to just go along with the ride. But there is that it is absurdist black comedy.
Okay, yeah.
The stuff that, I mean, all of his films don't take place in our world, really. They're all in kind of weird, skewed versions of our reality. But there is so much shit in this that isn't explained.
Is it as funny as Poor Things was? Because I found
no, it's not. But there are. I laughed out loud at one particular moment more than I've laughed in a film this year.
Okay.
That's not the only funny moment. There are a lot of funny moments. I would definitely call it a black comedy.
Yeah.
But there's one moment, and I'll wait till you've seen it, and then I'll see if you've... But I literally guffawed out loud, which would have been embarrassing, but I was the only person in the cinema.
Yeah. Well, I reckon I'll see it week after next. My local Dendy Cinema is doing a special screening in 35mm, which is going to be pretty cool. So I'll definitely get to it. So how are you scoring it out of 10?
At the moment, I'd say I'm an 8.
Okay, that's pretty strong. Yep.
I want to see it again.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going to have to wait for streaming because there's just too much other new shit I need to see. It might go up or it might come down.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I've got no idea which way it's going to go, but it will move from 8 in one direction or another.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, 2 hours, 44 minutes of just watching Margaret Qualley be gorgeous is a pretty good time, really.
Yeah.
And who else did you have in there? Was it Hunter Schafer?
Yes, Hunter Schafer, yep.
My God, she's attractive. Yeah, there's one particular scene where I was just like, stop drooling, Dave. That's embarrassing.
All right. Well, as mentioned, I didn't get to Kinds of Kindness, but I did get to Fly Me to the Moon, which is a 2024 American romantic comedy drama film directed by Greg Berlanti from a screenplay by Rose Gilroy based on a story by Bill Kirstein and Keenan Flynn. It stars Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum, Jim Rash, Ana Garcia, Noah Robbins, Colin Woodell, Ray Romano, and Woody Harrelson. And it's about... look, it's a rom-com. It's a period piece. It's set around, the late 60s as NASA approach going to the moon, and Scarlett Johansson is a marketing executive who's been brought in effectively to market the moon mission.
Am I correct that it's kind of a wag the dog sort of thing where she has to make a fake version of the landing in case they fuck it up and don't get there?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
That can't be spoilers because I've read that on IMDb.
No. I'm pretty sure you see that in the trailer. And I actually thought that was more of the plot. When I saw the trailer for this at the cinemas, I thought that was the plot of this film, that's what she's hired to do effectively, is to just do that. And I was expecting it to be kind of an absurdist spoof on that whole conspiracy theory about Kubrick and stuff, which is not what it is. This is a very straightforward rom-com. Her and Channing Tatum have good chemistry. He works at NASA. He's like the
that's already funny.
Yeah.
The idea that he's a scientist, he's a potato.
He's like the launch person. She's hired to basically be the marketing person for NASA, and so there's lots of kind of back and forth quibbles between them. The subplot of filming the alternative moon, that kind of happens quite late in the film, and that's really just used as a foible to come between them, because that's not something that he believes in, and so she ends up like destroying the footage and blah blah blah. Look, these are probably spoilers. The movie's fine. Like it's fun enough.
You have sucked all the desire to spend money to watch this out of me now.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was like a Wag the Dog.
Well, that's what I thought going into it as well.
Dark Dr. Strangelove type satire.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought it was going to be satirical.
And you're now making it sound more like what's that Katherine Heigl?
What, like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or something?
No, that's not.
Oh, 27 Dresses? That's Katherine
no,
Heigl,
the one with Gerard Butler, where he's the alpha male, and it's just Battle of the Sexes type.
Yeah.
Zero interest. I'll watch it on streaming, maybe.
Yeah, look, streaming is the way to watch this. So this is an Apple original, so I'm assuming it'll be on
What
Apple
a missed opportunity! The premise of doing. Because Wag the Dog is I think one of the greatest comedies of all time. It's so underrated. It's genius. The idea of taking this well-known conspiracy theory about the moon landing and doing a Wag the Dog type.
That's exactly what I thought I was in for walking in.
It's just it's almost insulting that they've taken that, because no one can make that film now.
It's
been made.
Honestly, I felt the same way.
It's been made as a rom-com.
I felt the same way, because I think it's a great premise. That's what I thought I was going into, but it is very much a straightforward rom-com. It's fine. Like they both have pretty good chemistry. I was actually surprised at how much I enjoyed Channing Tatum.
Surprised if he held his own against her.
Yeah. But and look, I mean, I do quite like the period aspects. I think that the 60s aesthetic is. I don't know if Wayne Aruzu has seen it, but I'm sure that he'll agree with me. I know that he thinks the 60s is like the most fashionable era. So
do I. It is my favorite. Era.
So look, I mean,
everything, but it doesn't mean that the movie will be good. Just look at Don't Worry, Darling, or Don't Worry, Baby, whatever it's called.
So look, I'm not recommending it. Again, I thought I was in for something different, and so that disappointed me. It's still better than Twisters. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Like, it's a flat, very average rom-com.
Is it as good as Anyone But You?
It's better than Anyone But You.
Oh, it's not.
These two at least have chemistry. They're like... I love Sydney Sweeney so much, but she's not a leading romantic lady. She just has
not in that sort
charisma.
Of thing, and she was completely outshone by the luminous Glenn Powell,
who has equally zero charisma. So.
Oh, stop it! That's just not. You're comparing him to a walking potato. And
not a recommend, but it's fine. If you want to go see a rom-com with your lady or something, it's a fine one to see. It's not like.
But only if Anyone But You's not playing locally.
But next week, mate. Next week we're getting to Longlegs and Maxine. Yep. So I know
one of which I've already seen.
Yes, and you were a fan.
It's definitely a pass mark. No more than that. But you've still got to see X before you can see that, or you won't understand it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, well, that's it from us. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at pottymouthradio.com. You can find us at patreon.com/pottymouthradio, where you can listen to all shows on the rest of the network.
Shyamallanigans.
That's right. We're about to start a monthly bonus series for patrons where we're going through M. Night Shyamalan's entire filmography, starting with The Sixth Sense. I'm excited for some Shyamalanigans.
It's basically like going through the IMDb top 250.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get to the happening.
No.
Don't forget to go check out the rest of the shows on the Potty Mouth Network. Dave and I are recording tomorrow for Movie Reviews in 20 Qs. I'm finally going to see Captain America. Which one am I seeing?
Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, that's the one.
But you still need to see Captain America, the First Avenger first.
I'll get to it at some point. And we'll catch you next week.
See ya.